Hello, welcome to episode 2 of the Lighthouse Buddies. My name is Tempe, and I'm Tempe on Ravelry and Tempe V on Instagram.
And I'm Chrystal, Chrystal Mo on Ravelry, and Chrystal Mo1 on Instagram.
We are using the exact same software that we used last time, and for some reason we had lag issues. But it's been 2 weeks since we did our first episode. We did record on Wednesday, and it was actually a pretty good episode, but we had lag issues, and we did not keep it. But it's now a full 2 weeks, and we've decided we'll just acknowledge the lag issues, and hopefully we can get something taken care of in the meantime before our next episode. So please bear with us. We're sorry.
And thank you for everybody that watched the first episode and all the very, very nice comments. It was really appreciated.
Okay, well, let's start off with finished objects. Would you like to go first, Miss Chrystal?
Sure. I have one finished object. It is the Mobius Cowl by Catherine Hunt in the Noro Shiraito.
I don't know. I thought Shiraito. We'll go with Shiraito. Oh, there's an I in there.
Shiraito.
Okay.
And it uses 4 skeins, and the yarn is so yummy. I bought it on sale, or I probably wouldn't have bought it. It's 45% cashmere, 45% Angora, 10% wool. And it's 4 skeins, and it's a Mobius cowl. And it's long enough that I can double wrap it, which is what I really love about this. And it's big, and even with it double wrapped, if I'm really cold, I can pull it up into a hood, cover my ears, but it's so soft.
You're so cosmopolitan.
I love how soft it is.
And
I love the colors with the peach and the teal, the bright teal. That's my only finished object.
I like it. It looks fabulous.
What about you?
I finished Traveling Leaf.
Wow.
And it's big.
Kind of like a World War II shawl.
Civil War shawl.
Civil War shawl. Thank you.
The thing, Civil War shawl is something like 5,000 yards. This is more like, surprisingly, it's only like 1,200 yards of fingering.
Really?
Yeah, I used not even 5.5 balls of yarn of the JoJo Land Melody. So it's got the crochet border.
Very pretty.
Rows 3 and 4 needed a lot more attention. Huge. I love it. I can hide under it. It will be super warm and squishy. If the power goes out at all, if it gets too cold this winter, I can put it on my bed because it is big enough. And it is fabulous. I love big, cushy things to wrap up in.
And the colors look so good on you. Very nice.
Giant
You could even make one of those dresses out of it.
Yeah, I'm not quite that brave. And then I was going through, I go to Stitches Midwest almost every year. And Stitches South is generally in Atlanta, but this next year it's going to be down in Nashville, which is about equally far as Schaumburg. So I went on to the Ravelry Stitches South group, and I was checking the vendor list to see who all goes there because every Stitches is different. And I saw that Woolstock said that they were having their stained glass Afghan kit at Stitches South this past year, and I clicked on the link and I looked at it, and it is the Paint Box Afghan square pattern. And then I remembered that I have that, and I've made 2 squares previously
Nice.
Here's my happy square and my goth square. I don't know if you can see it, but it actually has like shades of navy and cocoa in it.
It's very pretty.
And I had bought a whole bag of other squares of, it's Noro-Korean, or at least that's how I'm saying it. So I picked them up and I have made 2 more already.
Very nice. How long does a square take? About?
Maybe 3 hours. Super easy pattern. It's free. I like it because I can work through my bag of what I have and then go off and get more. And it's buying the entire kit's over $200.
Wow.
And I'm not so good at big dollar expenses all at once, especially if I can break them up. And that I can break up.
Well, and if you break it up, you can get them on clearance. You can grab the ones that are on clearance. Well,
and I like to shop D-Stash a lot. Because with D-Stash, it's reduce, reuse, recycle, and it's being repurposed.
Very good.
Somebody that will love it.
Nice. That was a big finished object this week.
It was. I like it.
What are you working on?
I have been working on many things in the 2 weeks since we...
Because you had a road trip.
So I worked on... I did a lot of work Labor Day weekend. We did a family trip to Louisville. And I got a lot of work done on my Hitchhiker by Martina Bem.
Very pretty.
Ooh, let me find my little points up here. And this is... from my old stash. I got this for Christmas 2008. This is the Loopy U's Loopy Legends Wendy's Ferns and Toadstools. Love the color. Loving the project. Love the squishiness of garter. It's all about the squish.
That's a really good use for that yarn.
It's fabulous because it's a light fingering. It says it's fingering, but it's really a light fingering, and I've had trouble. I tried to do it in socks previously over the years, but it's 100% merino, so it's nice and soft, but when it's so fine, I didn't really want to use it for socks. And I also, working on my old stuff and getting it out, pulled out my Bridgeport. My Jared Flood no, I keep wanting to call it Bridgeport. It's Bridgewater by Jared Flood.
Well, your project can be called Bridgeport. The pattern is Bridgewater, and your project is Bridgeport.
So it's been mostly done for a while. This is alpaca with a twist pheno. They're lace weight, and it's alpaca silk. This is the champagne color that takes 2 skeins. Love this yarn. Have made like 6 different projects out of it. This knit on edging will make your brain bleed. It's lovely. I love that it's not your usual one. It's like a little leaf. It almost comes out straight, and I'm not sure, and other people have said they're not sure to block it straight or peaked. But it's the joy of the knit on edging.
It's very pretty though.
It is a long-term commitment. And I need to make myself work on it. But over this past weekend, oh wait, and I've got one more, sorry, that I did in the car. I'm getting all tangled up. And for my car knitting was Lollipop Yarns Pillow Talk.
Very pretty.
And a nice self-striping with the matching heel and toe and topper. Because I am running behind on the Stockinette Zombies self-striping knit along, and I need to get some stuff in. But the one that has been getting a lot of my attention lately, and that I am absolutely in love with, is right side.
Ooh,
this.
That's very.
This is Rotochrosite by Nora Gone. I don't know why, but I keep calling it arachnophobia. The yarn came in on Tuesday. My friend Angie talked me into doing it with her. And I went and ordered the yarn. The yarn came in on Tuesday. My boys wanted to have a Hobbit marathon, so we watched Hobbits 1 and 2 yesterday. And that lets you get a lot of knitting done. This has And I'm sorry, I know I keep looking down in the corner where I can see myself and not up at the thing, so it's going to look like I won't make eye contact with anyone. No, I will not look you in the eye. It calls for, on the pattern, 6 repeats, and I am halfway through repeat number 4, and it stretches. I tend to be a snug knitter, but I don't know, I'm still on ball 1, and I've got a good amount left of ball 1, and I've got 2 skeins, so I'm thinking I will do 8 repeats. But
because, hold that up again, that looks more like half the size. It's closer to half, I would think.
And I don't know that I will wear it as, an open shawl. It's all about the neck this year. Everything I'm thinking about is the neck.
Were you cold last year?
No, I was not. Apparently I have a fear of it this year, though. So those are all of my whips.
How's Sia going?
I got a little further on the sleeve, and I've been distracted. I finished up traveling leave. Then we went away for the weekend, and I wasn't going to take mohair with me in the car. And then we came back, and the weekend finished, and I got going on the rhodochrosite, or arachnophobia, whichever one I feel like calling it.
You've made great progress on that.
It is really a lot of fun.
Well, I have not touched the herringbone cowl. I maybe did 2 rows on it, but not enough to count because I was working on the other cowl. And then it's Pluck Timber, which is Plucky's month, Plucky yarns. And so I cast on Twist and Flounce by Sharon Dreyfus in this beautiful hot pink Hotsy Totsy.
It is very pink.
It is it like has a blue shadow to it. I love this color. So, but it's Plucky Rustic, and it's only 165 yards of an Aran weight. So I was having a hard time finding a pattern that I didn't feel like I was being choked. So this goes up, and then it just folds over at the top to wrap through, kind of like a keyhole. So should be able to. And that's my Pluck Timber project. And my other whip, I finished spinning skein 7 of my hand spun gradient, and I cast on the sweater.
On which day?
Last weekend, Thursday or Friday.
Was it last weekend? Seems like it's been more recent than that.
No, it was Thursday or Friday because I worked on it all weekend.
Okay.
And I have the body almost done. I have like 5 more rows on the body. I don't know if you can.
That is amazing. 5 rows left on the body, and you've been working on it for just over a week.
Mm-hmm. So the top is the Southern Cross fiber. And let's see if I can hold it up to where you can see. This middle section is the Hello Yarn. And then the bottom is the Spunky Eclectic. And the pattern, Autumn Whispers by Carol Feller, has contiguous sleeves.
Oh, I love those.
So they almost look set in.
Mm-hmm.
It is an open cardigan pattern, but I don't like long purl rows. I have a hard time with them. So I added steek stitches. You can't really. I added a steeking section.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can just knit with no purl rows, because I have really long purl rows.
But look at how you've been flying on that.
I am really pleased with how fast this went, and I've tried it on and it fits. So I just have a few more rows at the bottom and then the sleeves. And I wasn't really sure how much of each yarn to use. So skein 1, I used all.
Wow. Well, you don't need that for the sleeves because you did a color change beforehand, didn't you?
Right. So the sleeve cap includes that.
Okay.
And then skein 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Your pyramid fell.
So I have almost 7 ounces leftovers right now.
So you'll definitely be able to match your sleeves to the body.
Yeah, so that'll be plenty for the sleeves. And then after I steek it, do a border collar of some sort. So that'll be plenty left. So I'm really excited. My Rhinebeck sweater should be done in time for Rhinebeck.
Oh, yeah. I'm just amazed by how fast it's knitting up.
I am too. I had down to the bust by the end of Monday night. Now that's pretty much all I worked on all weekend besides the cowl, but I only had like 100 yards left to go on the cowl. So I was really surprised at how fast it went and how well it fits on the needles.
I can't wait to see it done.
So the steeking makes me a little nervous, but it will all be good. So do you have any spinning?
I actually do. After our pretty good Wednesday podcast where I once again had no spinning, the one that you guys will never see, I felt sort of guilty and I got off my duff and I spun. And I actually got a decent amount of spinning done. Let me just get it caught up on everything because it's still damp, so I didn't want to, I could skein it. But this is Greenwood Fiberworks. Let me just do this in front of you instead of having it done. Greenwood Fiberworks in the Arcade colorway. It's BFL Silk. My friend Angie got this for me and got herself a skein as our prizes from Tour de Fleece last year. So, of course, I didn't do well with Tour de Fleece this year. It's Arcade, BFL Silk, 85.15. So I don't keep records. I probably started it in September, maybe October. But what I did was I split it down the middle and I spun the 2 halves up on their own bobbins. I'm looking at myself and not at the camera again. Spun it up on my own bobbins, their own bobbins, so that I could chain ply and have 2 close to matching socks because I'm not that great at keeping my weights even all the way. But what really blew me away was that when I put it on the skeiner today with my little rope wrap counter, it was exactly the same number of wraps. So wow. I washed it, it's damp, it's 111 wraps each one, to the point where the skein winder was at the exact same point in the rotation when I got to the end. So that was pretty...
That's very impressive.
That's very impressive. Now, my chain plying is not so impressive. And I have chain plied before. And I'm not quite sure what my problem was, but it's probably on the other skein. But you can see... Well, you could see. Okay, here and here. Like every spot right where the chain went, you can see it sitting there open and loose. Can you see that?
I can. But you know, once it's knit up, nobody's going to see it.
Well, they're weak points. You know, and that's the thing, is more that it's weak points. So maybe I just need to give it an extra little twist when I knit that part, just like a little candy wrapper. But I love the colors. They're nice. They're bright. They're sort of rainbowy. So I've been working on the Stockinette Zombies self-striping socks knit along this year. And it's fun, and Chrystal has certainly helped me acquire lots of self-striping sock yarn. But then I don't really have time to knit all my hand spun. I could probably knit this because it should come up striping, and they've allowed me to enter hand spun stuff. So we'll see once it's all the way dry.
Right? Your Greenwood Fibers Sochi?
Yeah, they accepted the Sochi that I did the same way, and I don't recall my chains being so bad. But I also went and finished the first half of my Dark Sweet Cherries from Three Waters Farm. It was the CTA spin along back in spring. So clearly I am out of the running for any prizes. But it is the Merino Superwash Merino Silk.
I love that colorway.
I like it too. Not for me, but I like it. And have you been continuing to spin even with all the amazing stuff you've done lately?
I have. I finished Skein 7, obviously. And then Very Busy Monkey designed a shawl pattern for the Spin a Shawl group, which I moderate. And it's a beautiful pattern. And so I spun some Three Waters Farm in the Second Sight colorway, in the
I love that.
Merino Superwash Merino Silk, the same base as your cherries. And I broke it into 3 pieces, and I was going to 3-ply it because my 3-ply is better than my chain ply. But I was afraid to muddle the colors, so I chain plied it. And I tend to overspin when I ply on the chain plying, so I was very conscious not to overspin. And unfortunately, I underspun. I don't know if you can. There's places where it doesn't even. It looks like 3 singles side by side. They're not even plied.
Are you going to run it through the wheel again, or just sort of?
You know, it comes out balanced.
Flip your cake around when you get to those points.
I think I'm going to flip my cake around when I get to those points because it comes out. It was balanced. And so my chain plying is very sad though, so I clearly need to practice. Let's see if I can get it to where you can see it. Clearly need to practice my chain plying. But I'm very happy with the colors. I love Three Waters Farm. I absolutely love her fiber. And I'm so excited about the Very Busy Monkey shawl pattern. So I can't wait to cast this on.
Now, the sample that Very Busy Monkey knit up with that, who spun that yarn?
I did. So I asked her if she would be willing to be a designer for us. And she was more than happy, but she's not a very prolific spinner yet. She does spin, but just a little bit. And so I sent her some hand spun so that she could design with hand spun. And I was so amazed when I saw her pattern with the hand spun because it looked so pretty. And I couldn't believe that was my yarn because it looked so pretty. But she did a great job designing the pattern and blocking it, and Three Waters Farm did a great color. It's Fall Foliage 6. Fall Foliage 6 was the colorway in Polar Silk. So I was really excited about that.
Oh, that is Three Waters Farm, isn't it? Well, we've got them everywhere, don't we?
I am slightly addicted. And then I do have some more spinning. So I had a fat fiber box more than 2 years ago. And I spun singles. And my thought was I would spin the singles because I didn't know how to use these little samples of fiber. So I would spin the singles and keep track of what order I spun them in. And then I was going to knit an entrelac shawl. from the bottom up. And I would know, going up, what fiber each square was. And the singles were very fine. It was definitely a light lace in most places. Some of it is art yarn. But I realized I didn't like the pattern for this, and I would never wear it. It's great in theory to be able to see all the fibers, but in reality I wouldn't wear it. And I didn't know what else to make with it, so I ran the singles through and in-plied them. And it turned into this art yarn, but I really like it.
That really does look fabulous. And I think it's probably just as well that lime green's not in there.
Right.
But it looks really rich with the browns and the pinks and that blue pop.
It was the Bollywood was the theme. And I really like this. And this is about 200 yards. And it is art yarn because there are places that it was thick slubs. And there was like this art yarn was literally in there in the fiber. So I do like it, and it's something that I would actually use now. Maybe a hat or a cowl. So, and then I wanted to make a worsted, like Cascade 220, a 2-ply. So I was wanting to make some nice thick yarn. And I had some merino that we dyed in your front yard. And it's very slubby and very thick and thin. It came out closer to a sport weight. It's about 150 yards for 1.5 ounces. 2 ounces? 2 ounces. It was 2 ounces and it's 150 yards. So that would be like 300 yards. So I think it's closer to a sport. But if you look, it's very thick and thin. I have some really chunky places there.
I like it.
So it was a fun experiment. I need to practice, practice, practice. And that is all my spinning.
Well then, do we have any acquisitions? I know I have one.
What's yours?
My father asked me to knit him something. Initially, he had told me not to, and then he was like, wait a minute, you're not knitting me anything, and you're knitting things for other people. So I ordered from Church Mouse Yarn and Tea, British Blue Wool. They have a pattern. It's a free pattern, 1x1, 2x2. My dad is a person who thinks all things British are fabulous, so we have British Blue Wool. I will send him the label with the wool.
Nice.
It's I'll get this bit there. It's a ribbed sweater, ribbed scarf, and stripes. So we've got all these different colors here and some nice, not too exciting colors. And I like the way they shipped. You've got a bookmark with a ruler on the back so that you can bring it along in your project bag. And they sent a card with it.
Oh, how cute.
And here's their note on paper. So now I have a handy dandy card.
Oh, that's really nice.
I liked that. I thought that was I liked these little touches.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and I like their patterns. They're nice and simple. I don't always want simple, and sometimes I want crazy, but man, when I want simple, they are the place to go. So I have that, and that should be a very quick pattern to knit up. That's all I have. Do you have anything?
I have just a little bit.
Okay.
So Shuttles, Spindles, and Skeins had their birthday over the weekend. And that's Maggie Casey's store. It's my local yarn shop. I'm so excited about that.
You're so lucky.
I'm so lucky. And got this pencil case. That was the free gift with purchase. So to put notions in there. I was pretty excited about that.
That's been handy.
That was the free gift with purchase for the birthday celebration. They had yummy cake too. But I can't show you what I got because it's a gift for somebody that watches the show.
Okay.
Okay, so spoiler, for those of you that don't want to see the Southern Cross Fiber, August. This is Falkland. This is the Dragon Scales colorway.
I like that.
It has greens and reds.
And they're such rich jewel tones.
They really are. So that's the one colorway, and the other colorway is Mountains of Mist, again in the Falkland, because he does 2 colorways every month. And this is nice blue grays, olive green, taupe.
That silvery section.
It's really, these are not my colors, and this is really, really stunning.
He has got a great color sense.
He really does.
Not that he needs my approval, because I think everyone has already established that he's really good.
Yeah, he's pretty amazing. That was the enabling on my side.
Okay, well that is just about everything.
Knit along.
We are going to have a knit along. And I know lots of people have knit alongs, but we're doing one too because we're going to do it anyhow. Chrystal and I are going to be knitting up the honey cow in our squishies. So you have the option of joining us. You don't have to. I know, like I say, plenty of people do it, but we will be doing it from October 1st through November 30th. Please, no works in progress. Don't start until October 1st. You can use whatever yarn you want. You can double, triple, quadruple dip. Doesn't matter. You can make, there's the shorter size or the longer infinity size. Doesn't matter. We will have some prizes. And we would really love for you to join us because that just makes it more fun.
That will be awesome. I'm debating between the Madeline Tosh that I have or the Yowza. But I would love to have other people knit along with us. That would be fun.
I see that you are at risk of hoarding your deep sea jellyfish.
I don't know what gives you that idea.
It's okay. If it makes you happy to just keep it and pet it, you can.
It's so pretty. And I'm going to knit the Alice pattern, which Lynn Zim designed for her niece who had bone marrow transplant.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knit Girls are doing a knit along with it. And I've had the pattern and I have the yarn, so I think I'm going to cast that on too. And I have wool maize.
Oh, nice.
In the, it's a weird difference game, but it's the Camprio, I don't know, orange. It's the orange. Wasn't really sure about it being my color.
You can always go in the gift box and you can have the fun of making it.
Yeah, so I love the squishy wool maize decay. And I'm going to make Alice, and all the proceeds from that pattern, she's donating to the medical cost for her niece's bone marrow transplant. So I thought that was a good cause too.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's,
I'm on the bone marrow donor list. 14 years now.
I am too. Bradley's school had a big push trying to get all the parents to sign up. One of the kids needed something, or a sibling, or I don't know, it was something with school. And so it was a big fundraiser like thing at the school in trying to get all the parents to sign up, and I did. And he was in elementary, I think. Maybe middle school, but I think it was elementary. So
you've updated your moving address and everything?
I did.
I make sure to do that. I actually got called up once.
Really?
Called up from the ranks, not just a wallflower all the time. Just to the point where they drew blood and they checked me, and I wasn't close enough for that person.
I've never been contacted.
But yeah.
Wow.
Well, that is all I have.
That is all I have. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate everybody's nice comments and all your support. It's greatly appreciated.
We really do, and hopefully we can get all of our technical difficulties fixed before next time. I'm so sorry about that.
Is it still lagging? Yeah.
Yes. Close your eyes at those points. Just listen. Chrystal has a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.